So I'm going to teach you how to create a carb cycling plan, and it's one of the greatest plans when for weight loss. It's more of an advanced plan. Now, just to clarify, if you're going for a weight loss journey, you don't have to start on this plan. A lot of my clients, about 80% of my clients, will not calorie count or not do something like this. So this is more to the stage where you're at a point where you want to tone up, but you're more than welcome to do it. So I'm going to jump straight into it because there's quite a lot to it. So um, I've already done 1 day for this person. So what it is, carb cycling is a way to strip fat whilst retaining the most amount of muscle as possible. And that's the crux of it. So you can do it many different ways. You know, people do it differently. People do they'll eat low carbs for 4 day and eat high carbs on the 5th day, or they might eat low carbs for 6 day and have high carbs on the 7th day, or they might have low carbs for 5 days and have high carbs on 2 days. What we're going to do, we're going to have um, low carbs for 3 days and a high carb on the 4th day, and you just repeat it and just keep repeating. If you do this properly, you're going to see results every single week. Now, just to explain before we go into it, so you do carb cycling, and on one of the days you have a cheat meal, not day, cheat meal. So 1 meal that you can have whatever you want. But it's actually very important to have this meal, believe it or not, and because it's preferably have it on your uh, high carb day. And the reason why you have it is because when you go through this journey, your body's going to start changing and you're not going to be feeding everything your body needs or require to function properly. And it's going to start tapping into your ghrelin and leptin. You can research it or Google what that is. And what happens, we need to keep it that sort of stuff at bay. So when you're depleting your body of certain stuff, your body doesn't start functioning as well. So when you have a cheat meal, that does, it fills all your levels up, tricking your mind to thinking that it has everything. So then it continues to cycle properly, it continues to process properly, continues to strip of fat at the rate that we want it to. And then obviously when it starts dipping again, have another cheat meal, carry on. So we're tricking the body really. So that's why I have a cheat meal. Fluids, very important. Make sure you stick to that. But let's crack on. So this is important. You have to stick to this. It's like I said, it's an advanced plan, and anyone can do it. Very possible. If you don't stick to it to the T, you can't say this is not working. But give it a go and see how it works. So what we need to do first, we need to figure out your calories. I've done a lot of this already for the person I'm doing it for, but I'll explain it. So the first step you need to do is figure out your calories. So the way I do it is I get someone's age, weight, and height. And then you got two different calculations, one for female, one for male. And then this is the equation. So you do that equation, put the weight in pounds, height in inches, age in years here, and calculate it. And what we're doing here, this first part, is we're figuring out your basic metabolic rate, which means this person here's metabolic rate is 1,587, which means if this person consumed 1,587 calories, and woke up and done absolutely nothing all day long, and went to bed, they would remain at 12 stone 13 and they wouldn't change and they'll stay in the body composition they are in. However, we move as human beings. So we've got to times this number, basic metabolic rate, with your activity level, how active you are. So the second step you go to is your depending on your activity levels with your work and whatever you may do, you times it by it. If you're sedentary, you times it by 1.2. If you lightly exercise through the week, you do it 1.375. Moderately exercise, 1.55, etc., etc. Give you an example. If you've got a desk job, you do 1.2. If you're a postman, you do 1.9. And then it's quite self-explanatory. All right. Now, if you're not sure, just go to the lower denominator. If you're trying to lose weight, go lower. If you're trying to gain weight, go higher, because you don't want to be tricking yourself. Okay. So with this person, I calculated her BMR, basic metabolic rate, with activity level, which was 1.2, and it comes to 1,904. So what this now means, if this person consumes 1,904 calories in a day and continues her lifestyle like the way she does, she'll remain in the same position she is, 12 stone 13, and the same body fat percentage. So what we want to do, because this person wants to lose weight, we need to multiply this or subtract or change it so she's in a deficit, so a calorie deficit. Now, a lot of people say minus it by 500. Don't do that. What you should do, you should do it in a percentage. So you manage it by a percentage. Give you a quick example. Because if someone's small and there's a female, they might only have like 1,300 calories for the number. And if you take 500 away from that person, she'll only have 700 calories, is it? Yeah, 700 calories to play around with in a day. Now, that's over nearly half of her calorie intake. So that's too much for that person. Now, if you flip it and someone's very tall, high, they'll probably need about 4,000 calories within a day. If you take 500 away, it won't, it's enough. It'll make them lose weight, but it's not enough. You know, we want to do a bit more. So what we do it in percentages. You can either do 20% or you can do 40%. Now, if this is a long-term thing, just stick between 20%. If you're trying to do this, like you've got a wedding coming up, go to 40%, you know, bash this out for a couple of weeks and you're good to go. So with this person, I'm going in between. I'm going for 25%. So we're subtracting 25% of this number to make sure she's in a calorie deficit. And so her final number come to, where did I find it? It was 1,500 and something, what it was. So it was 1,500 and something. So what I've done is, yeah, I just rounded it up. So to make it simple, unless you're going to be standing on stage and doing a body competition, if you're doing a body show competition, then you want the exact decimal points and stick with it. But if you're just trying to lose weight, get a bit shredded, then rounding it up to the nearest 50, you're good to go. So with this person, I round it to 1,500. Okay. So this person needs 1,500 calories a day to remain in a calorie deficit to make sure they're stripping fat. But with carb cycling, what we're trying to do, we're feeding what the body needs. So your body split that up into macros. So it needs a certain amount of carbs, it needs a certain amount of protein, it needs a certain amount of fat. And if you do it properly, you're feeding the muscles what it needs and the body what it needs to make sure you're stripping the fat, but retaining the amount of muscle, the most amount of muscle it has. So 1,500 calories is what she needs. Now we've got to split it. So if I get the calculator up, we've got 2 days, different types of meals. So just to show you, down here, we've got day 1, day 2, day 3, day 4. 3 days is low carb day, and the 4th day is high carb day. So we've got to figure out what her grams or how many calories per each macro she intakes, and then we can go and I can show you how to figure it out. So, and the percentages are here. So low percentage for carb day and the high percentages, the high carb days percentages. So if I go to calculator, we're going to do the first one. So the fats, we need 25%. So 1,500 times 0.25 equals 375. So 375 calories of fats is what she needs for her low carb day. Protein, we need 45%. So 1,500 times 0.5 gives me 45%. It's 675. So 675 is protein. And then carbs is 30%. So 1,500 times 0.3 is 450. It's 450. Hang on. I was right. Maths are good. Now what we need to do, we need to convert this into grams. This will make sense in a second. So how many grams of fat does this person need within a day? So, and this is the equations, how you figure it out. 1 gram of fat equals 9 calories. So she's got 375 calories of fat. So we divide it by 9. So this person needs 441 grams of fats. As you can see, it says 0.6. To keep it simple, just round it. So we're going to go 42. So this person's going to have 42 grams of fats within a day of a low carb. Now 675, 675. Now we're dividing this by 4. Oh, that's 900. Sorry. 675 divided by 4. Now the reason why we divided by 4 is fats and proteins are different. So 1 gram of protein equals 4 calories. 1 gram fat equals 9 calories. So it's slightly different. So So this person needs 168, we're going to round it up to 169 grams of protein, 169 grams of protein a day for her low carb day. Now carbohydrates, 450, again, divided by 4. And this person needs 112, we're going to round it up to 113. So 113. So this is what this person needs each day to remain in a calorie deficit, but to make sure you're having a low carb day for the carb cycling. Now we're going to do the high carb day. So the percentages are slightly different. So for the fats, we need 15%, 1,500 times 0.15 gives me 15%. So 225 calories of fats for high carb day. And then protein is 40%. I'm looking here. So 1,500 times 0.4 equals 600. So it's 600 carbs. Sorry, that's protein. And then carbs is 1,500. We need 45% times 0.45 is 675. 675. So same again, we've got to convert this into grams. So 225. This is the fats divided by 9. So this person needs 28. So we're going to round it down. So 28 grams of fats for the high carbs day, and then protein 600 divided by 4, 150. 150. Maths are good. And then 675 divided by 4 equals 168.75. 168.7. Oh, no, we're rounding it. So 169. So for a high carb day, this person needs that. So that's that part. So this is what this person needs to intake. So every 3 days, this person's intaking this, and on the 4th day, this person's intaking this one. And then you just repeat that cycle. Now we understand what macros we need. Now, how do we figure out our nutrition plan? So this is a nutrition plan that I've got set for this person, but you can create anything, and I'm going to show you how to do so. So what you need to do, you need to jump over to MyFitnessPal, one of the greatest fitness nutrition tools ever created, and you'll see why. But what I'm going to do, I'm already logged in. Right, now just it's best to do this on a laptop or a pad, not your phone. Phone works, but it's much easier the way it's laid out. So first of all, you could add your food. Now, if you look here, if you look at this nutrition plan, you've got 6 meals within a day. So we're going to do day 2. And it's obviously the first meal is probably consider breakfast, the last meal is consider evening meal or dinner. But what we're going to do, I want you to add food on the breakfast, just the breakfast one. Okay, it's not good. We're not really worried about breakfast, but we're going to put all of this food, all of this into one place. You'll see why. I'm going to show you the first 2, and then I'm going to pause it and populate it. So the first one is 40 grams of oats cooked in water. So if we go to what we've got to do is just type in oats. Now, if you can match the brand that you brought, great. Sometimes you're not going to be able to find a brand here, so you're just going to have to click one. It's not going to be that off, shall we say. So I'll go from Morrison's oats, like so. Now he'll say 100 grams. Don't leave it on 100 grams, change it to 1 gram. And this is pretty much with 95% of the ingredients. Now, because this person wants 40 grams, as you can see, 40 grams of oats, we have to change this here per serving here, as you can see, to 40. So there's 40 grams per 1 gram. This will make a lot of sense when you come to it. So I'll do one more just to make sure you understand. Then I'm going to pause it, populate it all, and come to it. So, and it'll come like so. But again, stick with the breakfast. Put everything in the breakfast, so like so. Add food. I'll do the next one. So it's 50 grams worth of blueberries. So I'll type in blueberries. So blueberries will come up. Now it says 1 cup. Remember, change it to 1 gram. And then, was it 50 grams? So 50 grams. Add to food diary. So you kind of get the gist. There's a few more things to that, but I'll tell you once I've populated it all. So I'm just going to pause it because you don't watch me do this. So pause it 2 seconds. So just showing you with egg whites. So there's egg whites on this nutrition plan. I just put one large. So I didn't do grams. It was just one large one. Quite simple. Do large because sometimes if you get medium egg, um, you're having less calories, so it'll win. So if you type in the one large, you're in a safe zone sort of thing. So you don't have to do the gram. Anyway, 2 seconds and I'll be back. So right, populated it all. There's a few things that I need to note before I go into it. So when you're doing this, um, obviously there's cooked weight and uncooked weight. Now, whatever you type into MyFitnessPal, you can type in cooked chicken and it will say if it's cooked chicken, it doesn't include the oil that you might include with it. So it's only calculating the chicken that's cooked, nothing else included. Um, or you can type in uncooked chicken, so you can weigh it before or you can weigh it after. But depending on what you put into MyFitnessPal was determined. And when it comes to like um sweet potato, this one here, boiled sweet potato. So you're weighing it after it's boiled. So it's up to you how you want to do it. Um, so that's that. Next thing is there's protein on this. So if you're going to get protein, say for MyFitnessPal, my protein. Now, if you type in whey protein, it will come up with whey protein. But if you've got a flavored whey protein, you got to type in flavored whey protein, and normally it's quite good. If you've got like a vanilla, it will have vanilla whey protein because there's going to be different macro count to it. And if you don't know who to choose, My Protein's a good website. Awesome supplements are also a really good ethical brand. If and I'm not affiliated to anyone, so I don't make anything from it. So, right now, the reason why we populate it all into one place is because if you see at the bottom here, it gives us the results, and down here is what we're looking at. So we'll go. This one's a low carb day. So remember, this lady's got to have 1,500 calories. She needs 113 grams of carbs, and she needs how many? She needs 42 grams of fats, which is this middle column, and she needs 113 grams of carbs. So as you can see here, don't worry too much about the calories. Just focus on the carb or the gram sides, and the calories will follow. So what we need to do, she's got too much carbs, she hasn't got enough fats, and she hasn't got enough protein. So what we need to try and do, we got to go down the list of items and figure out where the high protein source but low um, carb source, because the carb needs to come down basically. So what we've got to try and do, if we go to the carb side first, and this is why it's such a ball ache, and this is why personal trainers charge so much to create these, because they're mind-boggling. So what we need to do, we need to find something that's got uh, a lot of carbs in really, and low protein, because we've got to reduce it. So frying steak's got 50 grams. Oh, I'm looking at it wrong. This is the protein column. This is the carb column. So we're fine. So we need more protein, we need more carbs, and we need more fats. So let's flip it. We've got to find something that's got fats in it, but it's also got protein in it. So we go to the 50, there's 50 grams, but not much fats. So I'm messing this up. Not much carbs. Hopefully you get the gist. But if you look here, so there's 10 grams of protein or 4 grams of carbs. So we can actually change this. So we could change this one here, the plain yogurt. And this is why it's important to only have on the 1 grams, because so we've got 200 grams. So if we change that to 200 grams now, like so. So now I've got the right way on. It's carbs first, fats, and then protein. If we look at the bottom, we've increased our protein, we've increased our carbs, and our fats stay the same, which is great. So now we need to do something else. So we want to get something that's high in carbs and fat, shall we say, because we're quite far away from the carbs. So if we look at the carbs, there's sweet potato. We can add some more of that. Oh, look, sausages. There we go. It's high in everything. So we've got one sausage. If we add another sausage, that might do a bit of benefit. So this, if you look here, raw sausages. So we go 2. So we're weighing it when it's raw, not cooked. 2 sausages. It's increased everything. comes back down to the bottom, still quite a way away from all. Can actually add another sausage, to be honest. But then you can play around with it. What do you want more of? So the way I do it, I'd be like, like, I like eggs. I've only got one large egg. If we're looking at it, it's only got 4 grams of protein. It's going to fit in. So I can give myself another egg on this day. So 2 eggs, like so. And then, so we get closer, but now we need something high in carbs and high in fats. So let's have a look. We go down. We've not got much that's high in fats, which is a bit of a bummer because we need. Now, when you're doing this, right, it's going to be very hard to get it to the point. Um, so you have a bit of leeway. You have a bit of leeway with the protein. You have a little bit of leeway with the carbs, but with the fats, that's what you got to be careful. It's fine if you go under, but if you go over, it can have an effect. Because remember, 1 gram of carbs, 1 gram of fats equals 9 calories. So if you over by 10 grams of fats, that's 900 calories you add into your nutrition plan, which doesn't seem like a lot, 10 grams of fats, but it is. Um, Now, we're stuck here. We're not stuck, actually. Let's get it. Um, High fats, low in everything else, which we don't have. But I'll come back onto it. I just want to get the carbs up high. Once I've got the carbs up high, so sweet potato, we can add this. We can have another 50 grams to this one. Oh, that's 2,000. So, so we're not far away now. And we're quite close to all, but we're still quite far away from the fat. So what I do is I research high in fats, low in carbs and protein foods. List foods that are high in fat and low in protein and carbs. And it should come, there you go, here you go. Beef, steak, olive oil, avocado, eggs. Oh, the middle of the egg yolk. So what we could actually do here is here we've got, I believe we have egg whites. So we've got 2 large egg whites. What we can add to this, because when you got to get rid of the yolk. So what we could do, if we add food and we put yolk, egg, yolk, it will come up and we'll do one of them like so. And then it has, so it's 5 grams of fats and 3 grams of protein, which is perfect. So we're going to add another one of those. I can actually change this. See how tedious this is. It's all equations. Um, so now there's 2 egg yolks and we're very close to it. So 49. Oh, so we're only 2 grams away from the fat source. But what we've done here, we've got two, if you look, so these egg whites, okay? So you've got 2 large egg whites. Now we've got 2 yolks. So you might as well just have 3 eggs or 2 eggs. But we've got 2 eggs up here or 1 egg up here. So actually in this day, you're going to have 3 eggs to just simplify it. So I'll change that when I put the calculation in. But you've got to work that way because egg whites are high in protein, low in fat. And egg yolk is high in fat, low in protein. And that's why sometimes you need to differentiate it. But for this one, we can just make 3 eggs on this one to simplify it. So let's look how far away we are. We are 106 carbs. So we got 6 to go. We're 158. So we've got 10 to go with protein. So let's see. We need high protein, low everything else. So high protein. The thing is, we're actually all right. So Greek yogurt. Let's add 20 to that. We can go again. So add another 20. So 240. I hope this makes sense. Now we can go again. So 260. So if you hopefully understand, we're changing the amount of yogurt we're having within a day to increase the carbs and well, mainly the protein. So 164, we can go again. 280. Yogurt's lovely. This person's going to be loving yogurt. So we're very close now. Um, let's see if there's anything else. Well, actually, we're good. So look, so we're only 3 away from the target. We're 2 away from the fats, and we're 4 away from the carbs, which is not a problem at all. Absolutely fine. So what we've done here, we've created what you need to consume within a day. Now, what you need to do, you've got to go back over to this plan. And so this was day 2, wherever it is, day 2, and we just got to match up. So now we've got to match up. So we've got 280 grams of yogurt. So I see it, my last meal is got yogurt, and maybe the first meal I probably put a bit of yogurt in, so I don't have it all at once. So here we've got 280, I put 140 grams, 140 grams here, total Greek yogurt. Then to make breakfast more interesting, I put 140 grams. Is that right? 100, 200, yeah, 280. So that's done. Egg yolks, obviously we've got we figured out. So 2 egg yolks, 2 large eggs, and 1 egg. So we've got 3 eggs there in total. And you can just boil these, have boiled eggs. So this says obviously this is quite different. So we can change this. Just have 3 eggs. It's like a fried breakfast, this one. 3 eggs. And then when we look at the sausages, because I remember it being there, 2 sausages, 2 beef sausages. And then all you do is you go down the list and you distribute it. So sweet potato, where you want it. So you can have all in one meal if you want to, or you can split it up throughout the day. So you can split the days up. It's completely up to you, but you just figure out how your meals want. And this is how you can consume anything. You can, even if you wanted to, you could populate your McDonald's in there and it will calculate what your macros are, and it can tell you how much of the McDonald's you can. I can't. I don't recommend it. You shouldn't, McDonald's is crap. Put my hands up. I have McDonald's every now and then, once in a blue moon, but obviously stay away from that sort of stuff as possible, because even though it'll help you look shredded, it still will affect your inside. So what you put in your inside is going to help your body sing lovely or horribly, or it's going to make you like cat get dragged down the motorway singing. So that's how you create a carb cycle nutrition plan. I hope that makes sense. I hope it's you can go off and do it yourself. It's a ball ache. Give yourself about an hour, hour and a half to get it done. And then you've got a nutrition plan that's going to make you 100% lose weight by retaining the most amount of muscles possible. If you do this properly, you're going to see the results of the same day. Just a few little things to remember. If you type in cooked weight or uncooked weight, so you know which one it is. And that's pretty much it. But enjoy. Let me know. And if you find it too hard, just get me to do it. I'll do it for you. It's a ball ache. And it's not going to be cheap, but you can see how tedious it is. I can't be asked sometimes. But for the right price, happy to do it. Anyway, have a great day. Speak soon. Enjoy.